Hello, hello. Welcome to the Peter Parker Show. Today we're going to talk about reaching 1,000 miles on the bike and all the pros and the cons, all the good stuff and the bad stuff of the bike. I'm going to show you guys because we reached that not too long ago. You might not be able to see it, but I'm going to try showing you. There it goes. 1,043. When we reached it, I totally forgot to talk about it. But yeah, it's the first time it gets the 4 digits, and it's tiny. It becomes smaller, which is kind of cool. But yeah, we'll talk about all the good stuff about the bike and the bad stuff as well. First of all, we're gonna start from the front, and then we're gonna go all the way to the back slowly. So we'll start with the tires. I really love the tires of Super73. They're thick. They feel like I've run over some glass on these tires before, and it didn't do anything to the tire, which I think is super cool, because most of the times I've ridden bikes in my life, they always get flats when I go like over a small nail or some glass. So I think that's awesome that they have these thick tires, and the pressure is so high that it actually it's like really hard as a rock, really. Another thing I like to talk about is the brakes. The rotors I think are cool for a regular bike, but for this bike, I think they could have made them a little bit thicker, more like a motorcycle. And the reason why I say that is because the bike is so heavy already. It's I don't know the exact weight, but I know that it's a really heavy bike. So the fact that the rotors are so thin for such a heavy bike, they really should have something thicker and stronger for the brakes, because when you're going downhill, that's the most important thing of the bike, is that the brakes work correctly. So I've talked to many bike mechanics, and they always tell me the same thing. They tell me the rotors are too thin and they warp over time because they're designed for bikes. They're not designed for big motorcycle-like bikes. So that's one of the issues I have with the bike, is that the rotors are too small or too thin, and they're really designed as a bicycle brakes, not really as a motorcycle brakes, which I would prefer for my safety and for everybody's safety, really. Another thing is the fenders. The fenders are okay. They really are just for decoration. They don't have much of a splashing. They don't really help you from splashing or water. So because I've driven this over puddles, and I've gotten splashes on my helmet all the time from the front one. From the back one, I think it definitely works much better. But like I said, it's I think it's just designed for looks. It's not really designed for actual like helping you from splashing. I saw a comment on Reddit that said that the guy took away, sorry for my shadow being in the way, the guy took away, or he didn't take away, he changed the position from this to the back of the tire, and it actually worked with splashes. So you could do that at home if you like. The suspension, or the fork, the fork is cool. I don't have any issues with it. I think what's interesting is that the R, you can actually, with the S2, you can actually change the suspension right here. But with the R, you cannot. I'm not sure if the RX you can do that, but with the S2, you can do that. You can switch it like that, and it actually helps you with, if you want it to be more sensitive or not. That's how you change it. So no complaints so far. I have seen a lot of issues with people saying that that there's leaks coming from the fork, and they come from the bottom here. It just leaks from the bottom. I haven't had any issues, luckily. I'm thankful for that. But yeah, it's known to happen to the S2. I think the cables are okay. Like, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't get in the way. It's just not aesthetic. It's not very like pleasing to the eye to see all these cables like this. But there's only so much you can do. So I don't have complaints. I'm neutral about it. But I do love the front headlight is freaking awesome. I love it so much. I think it's so much of an improvement from the S1, and it's super bright, and I like the design of it a lot. It kind of looks like an old moped front light. I really love that design, so no complaints about that. I know that people kind of change it and get like more stronger lights, but nothing like, you know, nothing that I really care about. I think I like the stock one a lot. Another thing is the basically there are these grips that come with stock. They're okay. They're not bad. I mean, they're not ugly. They're just standard to me. They're nothing like, I don't know, amazing about them. But I know a lot of people like to change them because they kind of like different colors. I like it when it matches the seat, but that's another story. You know, I rather just spend my money on things that are actually comfortable than aesthetic wise. Aesthetic wise counts a lot, but to me it's all about comfort and you know, and performance. So moving on, the battery. Love the battery. Battery's freaking awesome. I love the design of it. I love how it looks like a gas tank for a moped. It's super easy to charge with a little port here. Just open it and charge it like that. Turn it on and off right there. Very easy. No complaints about the battery. I will say though, avoid having the battery in the sunlight because it will really damage your battery, and yeah, it's not good to leave it out in the sun. I know some people that are, I mean, not Super73s, just people that have like e-bikes and they've had it in the sunlight, and they just kind of decline over time because they overheated, so they don't go as fast or the battery dies quicker. So beware to be careful with the sunlight. I know I have it right now under the sun, but yeah. Anyway, so moving on. Didn't come with the bag, of course. I bought that guy, but it did come with this fender here, which kind of guards the cables in the bottom here. So that's kind of cool. I think that was a cool design that they did that. Of course, I love the color blue. I think it matches really well with the bike. The seat. So we're gonna move on to the seat. The seat, this is a custom seat I bought. It was $160. Mostly I got it because I needed something more comfortable, more reliable. But you know, so far the seat is not as comfortable as I thought it would be, but it's not completely hopeless. Like it's somewhat comfortable, and there's a lot of space with it, which I love. But if you want to see more about the seat, I'll put a little video up here for you guys to watch a review of the seat. But moving on, since we already talked about the seat, the old seat though was kind of like it was very cushy and soft, so that was nice. But over time, it would just kind of feel very uncomfortable. But I do love the color of the original seat that it comes with, and I think that's one of the coolest things that people kind of aim to buy the bike, because they really like the combination of the color of the original seat with the color of the blue. Moving on, I think this guy over here is really cool. Does the job. It's you can tell that they basically spend their money on something that is not cheap. I've had it out and I drove with it on by accident, and it basically kind of scrapped the bottom a little bit, but it didn't break the thing. So you can tell that's good quality when it comes to that. One of the things I hate about the bike is this plastic bottom right here. I think you know, I think the bike is so well designed. It's super cool. Everything's so like calculated, but this thing is just so plasticky and so cheap looking, and it really kills me to see it. I think they could have done so much better with this part. And I don't know if you can see it, guys, but see, I'm gonna try to get underneath here. Can you guys see? Basically, it's kind of like a plastic, very thin layer of plastic that covers the console under here, and it's like super cheap looking. I hate the design of it. It's kind of clipped on with these plastic tags on it. Don't really like it at all. Don't like it at all. That's another thing I would complain about the bike. Another thing is the design of the back. Super cool. 73, as you can see, the cable goes all the way down here. It's a little exposed, but it's waterproof, so that's okay. And yeah, all the cables just go from all the way here to all the way up into the console, all the way inside of the seat. The motor. So I was one of the first people that got the first batch of bikes, and I can tell you that I definitely have the V1 motor. You can see, because mainly the difference between the V1 and the V3 is that you can kind of see, it's kind of sunny, I can't really see the camera. There we go. You can kind of see like the little bumps on the motor, like right here. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. There's these little bumps there. That's how you know you have the V1 motor. Also, the V3 motor is like really big. You can it's like a big chunker. It's like, I think 2 or 3 times bigger than this one. So you'll definitely know if you have a V3 motor. There are comparisons of the motors in Reddit. I suggest if you're curious to see if you have the V1 or the V3, that's how you can compare them. But so many people talking about the bulletproof motor, how much better it's gonna be than this one, the V1. Look guys, I've had this bike for 3 months, maybe a little bit longer. I've gone 1,000 miles on it, and I can tell you it's never failed me so far. It's never had any noises or just performance issues. So I think the V1 motors are actually more reliable for the S2, but there are known to be problems with the R and the RX. So that's another thing that maybe look into it. But I know that the new batches might come with the V3 motors. So if you really want a V3 motor, just wait a little bit longer and you might get it. But if you're gonna get an S2, don't worry. The motors are pretty reliable for the S2. I know they're the same thing as the R and the RX, but like so far I have no problems with mine. So there are V2 motors as well in the market. I don't know how to tell the difference between a V1 or a V2, but I'm sure that I have the V1 because it's one of the early batches that I've gotten. Oh, another thing is the reason why you see this little like light coming out is because my stoplight here it just kind of stopped working, and the LED light stopped lighting up. So I just got it installed 3 days ago because I got a new one from Super73. I told them the issue and I was like, hey guys, my light went out, can you send me one? And they were like, well, we don't have any in stock right now, but we're waiting to get a delivery and we'll send it to you as soon as we get it, the shipment. So I got it 3 days ago. Oh, there's a piece of metal here. Yikes. Oh my God, that's super sharp. Do you guys see that? Wow. It kind of pierced the tire a little bit. But like I said, it's such a thick tire that it really, things like this would usually pierce your tires, like your regular bike tires. But with this guy, it just it barely does anything. So going back to the tires, I'm so thankful that the thick tires avoid punctures like this. This could have been really bad for a regular bike, but for mine, it just barely did anything. So that's a cool thing. I'm just gonna put this here so nobody steps on it by accident. So going back to the light, I just got it sent from them. I think I put it backwards, to be honest. I think the flat goes up here, but I just like the design better of the flat on the bottom, so I left it like that. But before that, I was using this light, which is kind of like a light that I bought on Amazon. If you guys really care about it, I'll send you guys a link. But honestly, it was doing the job very well. I might take it off and put it on the side here. But yeah, this guy, they're known to go out. So if you have an S2 or one of the Super73s and the light goes out, don't worry, it's completely normal. It's covered by the warranty, so they'll send you another one soon. One of the biggest things to check about the bike after 1,000 miles, check your brakes. So far, when I went over 600 miles, my brakes were squeaking. They're starting to squeak again. I just got them changed like a month ago, so I don't know why they're squeaking again, but it is, like I said, the bike is so heavy that it's known for it to, the rotors to bend and warp and the pads to fade out really quickly with time. If you live in a very flat level area, obviously you won't have any problems, but LA has so many hills up and down constantly that it just like kills the pads in a matter of, I don't know, months. So get those brakes checked out for sure. Another important thing is that if you get your bike sent to you, make sure you check the alignment on the brakes. There have been so many cases where people have gotten their bike, haven't checked their brakes, hear like a metal grinding on their bike, and they just roll with it, and then eventually the rotors get messed up and the pads fade super quickly. So make sure that you check the alignment of those. And the way you can do that is by rolling the tire, and if it stops really quickly, then the alignment is not right. But if it keeps going and it doesn't stop until like, I don't know, like a minute or two later, and it starts slowing down like that, then it's fine. Another thing to check for the bike is to make sure that you check the tire pressure. I didn't check the tire pressure when I got the bike, and I was riding for a long time, and then I realized that the tire pressure was much lower than it should have been. So not a big deal. Yeah, 1,000 miles, and so far so good, guys. That's all I have to say about the bike. If you have any questions about it, please let me know in the comments. Subscribe. It helps my channel out. It helps me be bigger, stronger, faster. And yeah, let me know, guys, what you think. If you have any other questions, feel free, please. I'll answer all the questions you have about the bike. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.